Shamps and giggles, history, news, views, and reviews from a black perspective. Shamps and giggles back for 2024. Oh my lord.
Welcome one and all back with Shamps and Giggles, talking the things, yeah? So Shamps and Giggles, we do this every Friday, as you know. News, views, reviews, and from a black perspective, we talk about entertainment and news, as you know, and we've just discussed the Olympics that's come on. So yes, as I said, get behind the team and try and support them as much as you can. Yeah, because it's usually good. So it's brilliant. So I thought I'll big them up on that one. And on the flip side of that, I'm not sure if you've heard, but do you remember the Euros that's just passed, the football? England did very well, got to the finals, but lost. However, you probably didn't even hear it or see it, ladies and gentlemen, especially radio listeners, football fans and so on. You probably didn't even hear it, or you may have heard a bit of it, but it's just come out in a report that the UEFA, which governs the Euros, the UEFA have sanctioned 7 nations for racist chants. So the football fans in the stadiums during the Euros were chanting racist slogans and songs. And these 7 nations, I'm going to name them because that's what they've done. And this is the article. And ladies and gentlemen, on air, I'm going to read out what was said, and I'm going to share, and it's on the BBC News. So, ladies and gentlemen, radio listeners, it's on the BBC News. If you type it in, you'll see UEFA Sanctions 7 nations for racist chants. So I'm going to share that with the group so they can see while I'm letting you know. Okay, so I'm going to share that with them. So what we're looking at, it says UEFA sanctions 7 nations for the racist chants, and it says there, the European governing body UEFA has sanctioned 7 of the 24 competing countries at the Euro 2024 because of racist or discriminatory behavior by their fans. And I'm going to just say the nations: the Serbian team or fans, Croatian fans, Romanian fans, Slovenian fans, Austrian fans, Hungarian fans, and Albanian fans. And they've all been sanctioned, and punishment ranges from 50,000 euros, which is about nearly 42,000 pounds, and banned from selling tickets to their next UEFA away matches. A National League game in Portugal. For Croatia, they got 20,000 euros, which is about nearly 17,000 pounds in fines, and banned on selling tickets to the next UEFA away match. Suspended for 2 years for Austria. In total, 17 games were identified as being affected, including 3 involving Slovenia, Romania, Croatia, and Serbia. So can you believe it? But I'm saying, can you believe it? Because we can believe it, and I know we can believe it. But these teams, their fans, and when you look at it, the majority of those teams and the area is from the Eastern European bloc. You know, Serbia, Croatia, Romania, Slovenia, Austrian, Hungarian, Albania. They're the worst. Go ahead, Miss Leisha.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Keith, because I wasn't made aware of that. But I'm pleased that they've been sanctioned, and I suppose it's these teams that always been quite vocally racist.
Yes.
In the matches.
Yes.
I don't know if they don't care. I think it's just unfortunate that our players have had to endure abuse when they're playing a game. It's just, yeah, good on the UEFA for doing that.
Yeah, and I agree. I think it's terrible, and I think that they should look at themselves and look at the fans that they got. But I say we know. This is my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, but I am sure I'm not alone. Is that the majority of the Eastern European blocs are racist countries? They are racist. So and I think that the level that's sort of like prevalent in their fans and their makeup, their DNA. I'm not saying that all 100% are, but the majority of them are. And I doubt if those countries will stem the level of racism that flows through their fans. I don't think they'll stem it. I think it'll be constant. And I think this is not the only time that it's happened. But I'm glad that UEFA is trying to put a stamp on it and to sanction them in that way. And I hope it hurts their pockets quite a lot. I really do. So I thought I'd bring that to the table. The other one that I wanted is it's not a laughing matter. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show another, but still trying to be black. Yes, yeah, very true, Shugs. Hold tight, Shugs. Hold tight, Angela. iPhone Angela. Hold tight, Supreme Doctor Spice. Pinky, Toots, Galaxy. Hold tight, Claire. And Miss Leisha, hold tight, each and every one of us. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, you can catch us while we're talking on the radio each week. You can catch us on all the media platforms, social media platforms. You can catch us on Instagram. Just hit the button, just press like, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Instagram, and WhatsApp. We're on Facebook, Shamps and Giggles on Facebook. Don't forget, you can email in any of your concerns, or you want us to talk about something. Just email us on Shamps, CHAMPS, and Giggles, AND, Giggles, @gmail.com. And don't forget the famous, how can you forget, the TikTok. So come on, link us, we're on there. Our videos are on there. And radio listeners, thank you very much for your listening ears as usual. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna share another one with this on the group, but for yourselves, BBC again, and it's quite prevalent, and it says, woman robbed of 185,000 watch in front of children. And this lady's, it looks like what I'm looking at. It's called a Richard Melee watch, and I hope pronounced it correctly. And Richard Melee, to everybody, I'm sure most listeners and viewers do know of this watch, is valued at 185,000, and it says it was violently stolen from her in North London in front of her 3 children. And the victim, in her 40s, was approached from behind by 3 men who pushed her to the ground and forcibly removed her Richard Melee watch. And this was about 10:30, 11:15 at night on Sunday. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm trying, it's difficult, and I know we're all entitled to wear and dress how we want to dress. But, yeah, how can I say this? 10:45 at night, for you to be wearing your Richard Melee watch, you should be able to wear what you like in the streets of London and anywhere in the UK without getting robbed, because it's a nightmare of a situation that would happen to you. You never forget it. But what I'm trying to work out is, how did those robbers know that she had a Richard Melee watch on? Unless you've got at 10:45, short sleeve shirt, dress, blouse, whatever, and you're walking in North London showing this garment around. Because it's a lot of money to be wearing on the streets of North London. Go ahead, Miss Leisha, I see your hands up.
I think that the robbers must have been following her and known about her and watching her move, because you're not going to recognize and think, oh, that's a very expensive watch. I mean, right now, that woman at the time was wearing the price of a house, £185,000,
Mm.
not 185,000 Jamaican dollars.
Oh,
And 185,000 pounds
yeah.
was from her wrist. So she obviously is very wealthy.
At 40, you must be.
Very wealthy to carry that on your wrist.
Mm.
But yeah, I think they must have been watching her movements to then be set upon, and have her watch stolen. It's quite a nice watch, by the way.
Oh, it's a beautiful watch. Looks like it's diamond encrusted.
Oh my gosh.
For it to be 185,000, I think there's some diamonds in there.
Oh, it must be.
Yeah.
That's not glass.
And you can imagine that. The police were. Oh, it says North London. Yes, look. I'm just reading it, ladies and gentlemen. The police were called at 22:47 on Sunday to reports of a robbery outside King's Cross St Pancras station, and now urging for witnesses to come forward. So you're, yeah, very, yeah. So they must have seen something. Yeah, short sleeve jacket or something for them to see that under your sleeves. Very difficult. However, as you say, Miss Leisha, it is possible that they followed her from somewhere.
Well, you need to know what the watch is, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like, you need to know the value of the watch to steal it.
yeah.
Not everybody would know that watch is worth what it's worth.
No.
I mean, it's not.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the police would also like to hear from anyone who may have been offered a Richard Mele watch within the last couple of days. No one's going to mention it. They're not going to come forward. If they sold that watch, they sold that watch for a good change, a hell of a good change.
Even if they got that watch and somebody gave them 100 grand
Yes,
for it, I think that's
it's even like 90,000. And excuse me for the punt, it's a steal.
Yeah, but you know what? Wouldn't it be interesting? I shouldn't laugh at this. Wouldn't it be quite funny if they sold it for a couple of £100 and then found out in the news that it's actually worth 185,000
Yeah,
pounds?
yeah.
That would really make them feel sick for stealing it. Could you imagine?
Yeah, and look, and in our chat, ladies and gentlemen of the radio, Shugs, it's a setup. Very true. Possibly is. Someone new. Very true. And we've heard about these setups for people nicking watches for order, so they know. Supreme Doctor, lucky they never chop her hand off. Very, very true. That's probably why she didn't really struggle, because yes, that could have been the next level of thing that they would have brought out. And then Shugs again, that's gone abroad. Very true. May have. It may have already been sold and moved on and stole to order. Hence what Miss Leisha was saying, that they followed her and they knew what they were doing. So yeah, I just find that watch at that time of night, how did they know that you had it? So I'm sorry for the lady to lose her watch, like to be robbed, because it's not funny and it's very traumatic. And I think that yeah, ladies and gentlemen, listen, if you got your expensive jewelry and you can afford 185,000 watch, ring, chain, whatever, just beware of your surroundings and where you're wearing it. And not to say that you shouldn't be able to wear and dress how you want, but please make sure you're aware of your surroundings when you're wearing your expensive garms. And when I say garms, garments. Okay, so that's just a short terminology for it. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, so I thought I'd bring that to you because I just thought it's very sad and unfortunate. The other one that I wanted to bring to you, maybe a rap artist. Yes, that may be true, Supreme. But yeah, and they know of her, they've seen her, and an opportunist, right place, wrong time, saw it and robbed her. And well, there's 3 people that pushed her, so they obviously knew what she was wearing. So and that is not on. The other one I wanted to bring before we go into our talk the ting, this subject that's now gone to the House of Commons apparently, and ladies and gentlemen and panelists, you would have heard of it because Esther Rantzen. If I mention Esther Rantzen, oh, go ahead, Supreme. Yes, thank you for taking part. Go ahead.
Yeah, just wanted to. There was a time where a lot of the young footballers, and the rap artists back in the day, well, not even back in the day, was set upon by gangs when they go to nightclubs and being robbed. Some were even blackmailed that, oh, we're going to do something to your family for like protection money.
Yes.
That was happening with a particular artist. I won't mention his name.
No, fair enough.
Again, in North London, like as soon as you're what we're going to say, public property or a celebrity, especially if you're a young rap artist or a footballer, you'll always be targeted by your age group to be robbed.
Yeah.
Even back in the day, I don't know if you remember, Ja Rule came over
Ja
here.
Rule, yes.
He got robbed of his chain, didn't he?
Yeah, Ja
He's
Rule.
wearing his chain, thinking he's American, wouldn't get. They just pulled it off his neck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the wearing of jewelry, even if it's junk jewelry and it looks expensive, you do put yourself in danger because to someone, they don't see if it's junk or whatever. They just see, you know what, this might possibly get me through to my next crack deal or little hustle.
Hustle,
You understand? Yeah. So, but that lady with her watch, and as Shug says, she's been set up.
Yeah, and
Definitely, it's not no ordinary robbery. She's been watched and monitored, and bam. If they never got her on the street, they would have got her in her ass.
Yeah, very true.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, you're absolutely right in what you said. I think it is possibly set up, and Miss Leisha said the same thing. She's been followed and they've been monitoring her movements. But as you say, the robbers these days, they may think and rightly put, Supreme, thinking that your junk jewelry, costume jewelry, is expensive, and you run that risk. That's why they say that some people that go out and buy these fake watches, you know, Rolex and Bulgaris and things like that, and they run the risk of being robbed and seriously injured for fake jewelry.
Yeah,
you know. So you're right in if you're known and you're out there and people see what you're wearing, because as you say, footballers, they've been targeted, and also athletes and things like that, sports and personalities around. Majority of them are getting robbed in London.
Yeah.
Set up, go to a restaurant, come out the restaurant, somebody's there waiting for you because someone's tipped them off. Oh, they're here. Yeah. And
I don't want to mention a case, especially with young people. I remember talking to a young gentleman. I was in the barbers, and he said that that he was going home late, and he was wearing a designer jacket. He had his MacBook on him, and he was just walking down the road with his, and that's another thing. Back in what's these headphones? Everybody was going crazy.
Bose, no, not Bose. Beats.
Stray Beats.
Yeah,
headphones.
Beats. Yeah.
He's walking down the road in the night. Bam! Come out of nowhere. Take off that jacket. They stripped him, right? And they found he had his what do you call this, Visa card on him.
Oh yeah.
They marched him to the cash point, right? And they were quite good robbers. They said, "Look, don't worry about the card. You're insured, yeah." So what they done, because you got before 12 o'clock and after 12 o'clock, they held him. They said, "Take out X amount this time."
Mhm.
1 minute past 12, they said, right, you got to take out another set of money.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so they just robbed him. They proper done him. So,
Yeah.
you know, at the end of the day, I mean, we've got to look at these things as material things, but at the end of the day, you know, the same thing, you know, people are getting robbed of trainers.
Yes.
They get robbed of your clothing. If
Yeah.
people can
Even your
see,
cycle, even your bike.
yeah,
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 even your bike. Electric scooters are even worse now.
yeah. I mean, we look at this and because there's a value to that watch, but even look, I've there was a time where people were getting the car exhaust in broad
Oh
daylight.
yes. Yes.
They
You
would
mean
jack up your car and
yeah,
cut the
that's right, the
part off
cut
your
it.
car.
Yes.
The catalytic converter is called,
That's
yeah,
right, catalytic
because
converters.
it's
Yes.
worth money in scrap.
Yeah.
Now, sorry for taking you off track, but even scrap now, because you had a lot of Eastern Europeans coming over in the UK, they were just robbing train tracks, everything to bring to the scrapyard
Yeah.
for what do you call it? You know, the recycling place.
Recycling
So you
plate
get
plants. Yes. Yes.
copper
Yeah.
and but it's been so bad that what's happened now, the authorities have brought in this thing that now if you bring stuff to the scrapyard, you've got to bring your passport and you've got to have
Oh,
a bank
proper
account.
ID. Good.
Yeah,
Good.
because it was just getting out of hand, like, you know, people chopping up BT wires, stuff like that,
Yes. Yep.
smelting it down, bringing it
Yep.
to the scrap man,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
and
Even
we
you
even get it. And sorry to blame the Eastern Europeans, but we've got to be real about this. They walk down the road looking in your garden.
yeah. Yeah. See what you got.
They're bare-faced now.
Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right.
If your
And you saying
clothing,
that, Supreme, you saying that, and I'm sorry to cut you, is
no problem.
they even when you're saying BT, I remembered also that they used to go on the railway lines and chop
Yeah,
those big heavy cables that
yeah,
run
yeah,
the power
yeah.
just to
Yeah.
sell back there.
Yeah, there was a young gentleman who died because he cut a live cable,
Yeah.
and I don't. This might have been within the last year, and they said, "Oh, he died due to what are they calling it now? Because everybody's on food bank and this and that. The price of things going up, and he
Oh,
had
cost of living.
the cost of living is
Yeah.
why he done it,
Oh my
and he's
gosh.
got
And
a
they
young
died
child.
over it.
Yeah. All right, I'll leave it right there.
No, thank you very much for your input. Always a pleasure. So hopefully it's more to come from you. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, yeah, that just shows you the level of robberies that goes on and just beware of your surroundings. That's all I'm going to say. And what you're wearing and where you're doing it. All right. And the other one that I wanted to bring to the table before we go to our next commercial break is this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to share another picture, but I know that most people do know of it because of if I mention the famous personality Esther Rantzen and where she is at the moment and what she's trying to do and what she's trying to get the government and the rest of the world to start recognizing is this assisted dying. Now Labour's taken over, a new Labour government. They've now brought it into Parliament. Assisted dying bill is being introduced to Parliament. At the moment in time, it's now with the House of Lords to discuss assisted dying. Some people's got different thoughts on assisted dying, and some family members cannot wait for it to come in and be passed, if it can be passed. Esther Rantzen has gone to Europe. I think she's in Sweden or one of those countries that do it, and she's been campaigning for the UK to do it. Come in, Miss Leisha.
Otherwise known as euthanasia.
Thank you very much.
And I'm in two minds about this.
Okay.
I think that people should have the option. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's horrible to see somebody suffer
Yes.
and see in their eyes that they just want to go, and they're not allowed to go. They've got to endure all the discomfort and pain.
Pain. Yeah.
To then go. You know, you hear. I was sitting in on the talk a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
With some nurses actually, and one of them said that they had resuscitated somebody.
Yeah.
And when the person came to,
Mm-hmm.
they got really angry for being resuscitated. They just wanted to go.
Oh, right.
So they were then, they said that the woman was so angry, really, really angry, and it stayed with them.
Oh, wow.
That you know what had happened, and you know, if I was in that situation, I was so ill, I don't think I'd want to suffer.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. It's very difficult. It really is difficult. But as you're saying that, I'm just reading the article, ladies and gentlemen. I'm reading an article from BBC again, I'm afraid. It seems like they're quite prominent on their news. It says this bill would allow terminally ill adults with 6 months or fewer to live to get medical help to end their own lives. Has been introduced in the House of Lords by former Labour Justice Secretary Lord Faulkner. And the thing is that when they're saying this, it says that they're saying that the choices would also need, if it does go through or pushing itself forward, it says here that the bill would apply only to people mentally able to make the decision. And also, their choice would also need to be approved by 2 doctors and the High Court. But when I say that, I say Esther Rantzen, she's already joined an assisted dying clinic abroad. But however, Keir Starmer, the new Prime Minister for the UK, he's also saying that he sticks by the promise he made to Esther Rantzen and others for assisted dying free vote. So he's all for it. So it will be interesting. And it says here in the bottom part, before I move on, it says in order to become law, the bill will also need the government to make time for it to be debated. Something Prime Minister Keir Starmer has promised to do. So it's going to be interesting. Earlier this month, he also said that he would let MPs have a free vote on the subject, meaning they could vote based on consensus rather than following the party line. So it looks like it could be something that's going to be happening in the UK for the first time. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. And ladies and gentlemen, with that, it's time to go to a break. And that's what happens on Chants and Giggles. We talk the things and it just moves on. So we'll see you after these few words.